First wake up and I don't know, they seem pumped. I mean, they're doing squats, stretches, lunges, getting the heart rate up, um, drinking lots of protein shakes, or maybe locals are, rubbing their muscles, making sure that they don't, get a cramp in a hammy or or something like that. Maybe they look upon a board and see the greatest competitors in the world because today is the day of contests. Let's get into it. Let's have some a little fun as well. All right, creatives, community, and kind folks, we've got our mind fuel all topped off. Um, put the cap on in, and let's have fun yet again on our world building day of series. And today is the day of contest. I honestly, in hindsight, I don't even know if the thumbnail is accurate enough. Maybe I should have had like Olympic athletes or something like that. But and I see you, one-eyed heathen. He's like, "Hey, good to see you. Good to see you too." And I get the joke as well. Guys, thank you very much for being part of the show. Hunt's in the house. What's going on? Oh man. Um, a Facebook friend of mine keeps photoshopping fart contests. What? That's a strangeness. So today, you guys know what the deal is the day of, and we're going to use this for like fantasy, kind of fiction, science fiction and stuff. But today is the day of contests. And we've been kind of beating around the bush on this idea, but today really is the day of contests, competition, challenges. Um, Absolutely positively, this sounds like our modern day equivalent of anything related to any kind of physical contest, the Olympics and anything related to it, running, jumping, swimming, accuracy, endurance, contests of strength and balance and all that kind of good stuff. And what a great way to throw off the shackles of what we're used to have competitions and festivals related to, you know, contests. Now, I'm going to use a stand-in of tournaments, and the image that I use, I tried to get like a rider and a winged horse with a lance or something. I don't think it was. I don't think it was a good description, but we have the classic idea of the noble knights, and maybe it's not wartime. So, how do you prove your people are powerful warriors without going to war? Well, you have contests, and of course, we have the knights and the lances and all that good stuff. And the idea on this day of for me is what a great way to like test the rules and boundaries of the game. And if we have like tournament style competitions, especially ones that go well outside the physical boundaries of just of what we know as knighthood and classic medieval tourneys and stuff, and really spread it out beyond that, I think we can have some fun with it, especially since we have lots of rules and we have lots of player characters that do really bizarre things. Having contests where maybe they have to work as a team and they get graded as a team, or the players are recruited into one particular faction, or maybe they go back to their hometown and their home base, and everyone's like, "Oh, you mean the greatest competitors over there, and they pointed to PCs drinking in the tavern, and the PCs all like turn around and they're just like, don't, and they get volunteered into to representing the community or something like that. I think it would be kind of fun. Um, and of course, we have to come up with what kinds of competitions in the first place. Um, Mm-mm-mm. Why Heathens is, oh geez, now I forgot that contest that the main character in Shadow of the Torturer was heading to after being banished. I don't know. I don't remember that. Mm-mm-mm. Cameron, been a long time no see. Okay, so focus, squirrel. So the idea here, I might refer to wood, stone, and steel, and I'm going to refer to the wood, stone, and steel, kind of measuring like easy, medium, and very difficult uh, um, difficulty challenges amongst the same things, and we could kind of use that wood, stone, and steel as a metric of beginning something that might be kind of easy and then easing the characters into more and more difficult challenges along the way. And classically, in a lot of mythology, our some of our heroes get challenged very often. They are given instructions by deific um, uh, entities that want them to go on tasks, whether it is Hercules and his tasks. Theseus had a bunch of tasks, and there's plenty of like these Greek and Roman heroes. I know in Norse mythology, um, Thor and Loki were tasked with performing certain duties. Now, sometimes those tasks were things like, please don't make allow the sheep to escape, or um, please don't let the water boil, or some silly things like that. But some similar things on a day of contest could be that there are powerful entities that are challenging the player characters and other bestial entities and things. And also, it's a great way for players to have severe limitations to do a thing like Owlbear Rodeo or something, which is a digital tool set. But arm wrestling contests, and everybody on the other side of the arm wrestling tables, like a minotaur or a stone giant or an ogre or something like that. Yeah, Drew says Thor had quite a few drinking contests. Hell yeah, and I think to me, if you yes, we can have very lethal and dramatic outcomes from a day like this, but I think a day of this sort can have a lot of fun. I mean, trying to have a staring contest with a Medusa, I don't. I think somebody might have a particular advantage to that, but it would be pretty funny if, to come into a competition or a bar room or something, and it's like, and the Medusa wins for the 18th time, as as the locals like try to lift up their competitors. It's all stoned out with a serious face look on their face or something. Mm-mm. Elric Saga. Yeah, good classic fantasy novel, by the way. Still have yet to read the Elric Saga. I know I'm a terrible nerd. Me too. Well, no. Because I remember a musical torture scene or something like that in the Elric Saga, and the sword that killed his betrothed or something. Drank her soul. Oh, man. Yeah. One Eye Heathen says he did. Utgard, Loki, a giant, not the Loki for some reason, had Thor trying to drink the entire ocean. Yeah, exactly. Like maybe there's it's the it we could have some real great fun with some of the content. So okay, so let's begin with let's understand that a lot of times contests come about because we need some measurement of trying to test a talent. And so that talent can be different things, whether it's like let's go with the classic stats from Dungeons and Dragons, right? Strength, Dex, and Constitution. So strength, we have strongman competitions. Just steal from that. So um, YouTube, look up. Heck, if you're from a country where that's your national pastime, strongman competitions. And what happens with the strongman competitions? They measure strength in different formats, whether it's lifting giant, round, hard to grab boulders and putting them up on pedestals, or it's standing between two heavy weights and holding onto chains. Usually the strength measurement is pulling, lifting, tugging, bending. And it's endurance of strength. How long can you lift or hold or grab something? Sometimes it's strength and distance. Can you lift the heavy weight and travel somewhere? Um, the CrossFit Rogue competitions, the fittest person in the world, um, goes with strength and lifting yourself and your body, and then it moves into balance. Can you do handstands and walk across narrow ledges, and so you can do balance? Maybe there's even we've seen chess boxing where there's boxing competitions, and in between each round, you have to play chess. Yeah. I see you guys over there. I'm not going to stop you guys from having your own conversation. But I'm not going to get squirrely either. Uh, fun contest? A fun rival would be fun to see being played as an NPC. Maybe. Heathen says Gorgon. Medusa is a Gorgon. I know they have Gorgons in D. Yeah, and because in D&D, Gorgons are like metal skinned bovines that breathe out a gaseous, um, some kind of gaseous mixture, something that causes petrification. So, but yes, the Medusa was one of a number of Gorgons, like three Gorgons or something like that. Yeah, but yes. Mm-mm-mm. Oh no, yeah, I hear you. I'll put your comment up. Um, yeah. Oh yeah. Maybe I should be hosting a contest on a contest of hosts. I don't know. But contests can measure patience. It can measure time, time and distance. There are plenty of multi-faceted contests we have in uh, here in the states when it comes to settling the United States. Now, the moral implications, let's put that aside. But there. Take a look at any kind of um, colony, colonial, rancher style contests, and you could really reframe or reskin those into contests we can use in fantasy, such as uh, riding a mount very fast while also trying to use some kind of aimed or thrown or muscle powered weapon to aim at deplink targets while you're riding. We see that in Japan, and we see that using firearms and riding horses. Here to Ohio State Fair, we saw a contest like that where they had like balloons set up and they were shooting blanks, but the blanks still shot out like hot sparks, and they had to ride real fast, and they had two guns, and they only had like three shots per gun or something like that, and they had to switch them off. And then there's a contest, the rodeo contest, where they have to wrangle the calves that ran away. So you got to use a mount plus a rope, and then hook the leg, and then jump off the horse, your mount, to go and tie up three of the legs, and then bring the calf back and stuff. I mean, there's a bunch of things like that. There's also contests of intelligence and wisdom and charisma, meaning those contests could be things like we have talent shows of music and dance and acrobatics and comedy. So yeah. Yeah. Well, no, there's some there are let's see if it's funny. Heathen's like, oh god, that's the worst, watching a patience contest. there are there are contests for the slowest tractors, and so it's not who gets to the finish line first, but it's ranking down the tractors to the point where they're barely where you have it geared down so low that the winner doesn't even get to finish the finish line, and without your tractor stalling out. It's something like that, yeah. And it's so weird that even the winner has to step off their slightly moving tractor to get the award because they haven't hit the finish line, and you actually lose if you hit the finish line first. Now, Mike Marin says, I think the hardest thing with running contests of any sort in RPGs is that the players always expect to win, or at least do very well. Well, mathematically speaking, that's very true, right? And many role playing games, depending on the role playing game you're playing, like fifth edition Dungeons and Dragons, the math is like it runs 65 to 80% in favor of the player characters. So I do agree with you that there. Mike Marin says, and unless they're team-based activities, they either spotlight one player or encourage other players to cheat in order to participate in the game at that stage. And that's why I'm suggesting like a team-based effort where different members and you could actually mix and match it. For example, I came up with the idea of Jenga cubes, and so the giant Jenga cubes made out of wood, stone, and steel, and they are geometric pieces on the ground somewhere, and the PCs have to compete against other teams. So you need somebody strong to lift the pieces. You need somebody dexterous to get them into the proper position. And you need somebody intelligent to figure out which piece needs to go where. And then you could make it a team effort. Like, okay, so someone has to be with the intelligence in the group has to figure out which piece goes where, and you can kind of abstract it like the little small wooden puzzles that you ever see that used to be in the old malls. Remember back in the day? Back in my day, we had places that were internal and they had stores called malls, and you could go to each of them under one big roof of a building. But anyway, but you get the point, right? That you get these little small wooden puzzles, but I'm thinking of them as being like 5 times the size of the PCs, and maybe they have to use magic. And contests don't need to be local. It doesn't need they don't need to be in an arena. They could be summoned to a place at a demi plane of some sort, and are tasked like secret wars or contests of champions. If anybody is old enough to remember that comic series where they brought the heroes all together and they had to compete against each other with what was this? Oh, I can't remember the immortal. Anyway, this goes way back. um, when I hear this, says never heard of a slow tractor contest. It's kind of funny. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Mike makes a good point about making a solution as to the spotlight issue, because most games have niche protection of some sort, and if one player is spotlighted, what do the other players do? So I think you would, for me, I would make it turn based, so each player is instrumental in doing a thing in some kind of turn based competition. So an example would be a player who's accurate must plink stones or targets, and activating the targets releases, I don't know, um, black bears or owl bears or something that the more physical characters have to wrestle or wrangle, and then maybe they have something around their neck and they have to like wrestle them and get the thing around their neck, and then maybe there's somebody who's fast and wants to get the thing off the neck, then the fast character has to grab it and run for it. They've got to make like acrobatics checks to get around obstacles, to do a thing, to get the thing into the bucket or something like that, and maybe it's repeated over and over again. And then you have rules for magic and stuff, right? Like you have these fake wood, stone, and steel obstacles that are represented by that are represented by maybe living automatons, or their stat blocks for monsters, but everyone knows that um, they are just obstacles for the PCs to get the thing done. So let's say there's an obstacle of a stone giant. Well, is it a real stone giant? No, but that's you're just using the stat block for that. And then the wood, stone, and steel would represent something simple, like maybe an ogre, and then so wood would be like an ogre, maybe stone is like a stone giant, and steel would be, I don't know, something Titan sized or something, and then they have to like defeat them on the field of battle. But what people are really watching is the player character using their sword or battle axe skill against dummies in in an arena. Or it could be real, like the PCs are, if it's an arcane arena of some sort and you're testing battle, they could literally fight monsters, but the monsters just disappear at the end of each contest. The PCs might be suffering harm, but the magically created arenas could be anything they could summon up, right? Like they're standing on, I don't know, pieces of crumbling earth floating across a lava, streams of lava, and then the minute they defeat the salamanders or something like there, it instantly turns into a frozen wasteland or something. I don't know. Yep, Drew says in 80 days around the world is a contest, traveling, getting from A to B, and of course, uh, as I tell a lot of people in my job, I'm like, this ain't a sprint, this is a marathon, right? So it could be a literally like a one round contest, or it could be multi days or weeks even. Uh, the Iditarod in Alaska is a contest of taking, being a musher and having like 16 dogs in a dog sled traveling hundreds of kilometers through the winter and brutal landscape. A contest could literally be, hey, you need to get from A to B, and all kinds of things could be distracting the player characters, and they're like, nope, 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 we're not getting in, we're not going to murder kill everything, we need to get from A to B, and we've got 3 weeks to get there. And every time we stop and go into an old crypt, it's taking us time. And of course, you got your player characters like, but I want a dungeon delve. And you're like, nope. uh, Thomas Anderson says, contest of the most helpful person, a contest that people, uh, a contest that people wanting moderator on Minecraft servers have to win without even realizing that they are competing in the most helpful person. Hey, why not? You know, Shice is like, might as well start shilling for my benefit compilation to support Russian draft dodgers. Ooh, ooh, okay, all right. I'm gonna put this up just for support. Come on, did it come up? Yep, there we go. Thanks there, Hunt. Um, I'm I'm not politically savvy when it comes to that kind of thing. So, um, if you can't win the contest by asking to be in the contest, because nobody want because anyone wanting to join the contest is automatically someone who should never win it. Wow, that's that used to be. Remember in school where it was like, who wants to run for class president? And anybody that wanted to run, kind of everyone thought was like, they're the person you don't want to be there. Yeah, maybe everyone needs to find a person or thing. Um, it would be interesting for the. I know players wouldn't want to do this on a day of contest, but maybe they have to find the people who would be the most appropriate to compete, because all the people that are most appropriate to compete don't want to compete in the first place, and trying to get them to do it, that would be interesting. Or maybe on the day of contests, entities have already chosen their competitors, and those people that are competing are like, I don't have anything to do with this, don't want anything to do with it. And the PCs are like, okay, so how do we get them, convince them? And of course someone's gonna be like, let's kidnap them or something. But yeah. Mm-mm-mm. Thanks. Would the doctor be a winner or loser, since he's the tragic hero who the more he tries to help, the worse he makes things? Maybe. Thanks, dear Hunt. Monday part two, the retribution. Yeah. Mufa, yeah. Jeopardy, yeah. Just joined, but if someone hasn't brought a fantasy Jeopardy, I'm disappointed. I'll take dragons for 500 gold. Remember, you have to form everything as a question with the answer. Although trivia is a contest. I mean, you, you'd have to name in order all of the oozes, gelatins, jellies, puddings, and their color, what they destroy, and what their limitation is. I wonder if anybody could do that off the top of their head. I bet there's some old school dudes. I could probably get about two or three of them, but and I know I'd mix and match them because there's like ochre jellies and gelatinous cube and black pudding, gray ooze, et cetera, et cetera. And trying to get like the top five. The contest is set today. Okay. See who could do the most shameless self promotion plugging their own channel before DBJ gets here. I'll start. You're funny. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, I can see where that would be a fun challenge for seasoned D&D players to ask answers in character but not metagame. That would be pretty fun. And well, the goal would be to metagame, right? So the characters in character are like in the tavern, and you have a host, right? So who's at each different table, and you have to answer questions like doom doo 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 doo. Okay. Listen, guys. On the day of contests, you must answer which three monsters heal but are prevented from doing so when attacked, harmed by fire and acid. Go. Right? And of course, people are like, trolls. Okay. Hydras. All right. And what's the third? And everyone's like, don't. Oh, I can't remember. Right? Because I don't even know if that question's good. But maybe you out there might be able to find that out. But that would be pretty fun to have an in game. I bet. I bet. Let's see. Uh, uh, okay, we've got some D&D trivia pursuit. Let's see. Let's see if we can come up with D&D. Let's see if we can come up with some of these. D&D Jeopardy. Yep. Let's see if we could get some. No. I don't know what that is. D&D Jeopardy. I'll do one team. Uh, so let me share. This is hilarious. Sorry. I gotta share this out. Let's see if we can. No, we want our Chrome tab, and let's see if you guys can see this. D&D Jeopardy, and let's play some D&D Jeopardy while we keep having this conversation, and I'll live do this to see if we can get some of these answers. So somebody pick a category. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, Anderson says, I had an idea for a contest that is based on two groups developing tech in a society in two different locations, with the ones who succeeded each day to do more to forward their tech capability. That would be pretty interesting. I mean, now the day of contest doesn't need to be like Olympic athletes, right? A day of contest could easily be, who comes up with the best answer to solve a problem. Hey, we need to get water from that's at a lower elevation to get up to a higher place. How do you do it? There's and mind you, someone came up with a corkscrew spiral system for that. But yeah, aqueduct, right? A contest to see who can draw the most cards from the deck of many things before dying. Hey, listen, you draw from the deck of many things. There's things worse than death, right? Oh, you're doing a promotion. I'm going to put you out here. I'm going to let this sit up here for a little while I read off. Um, Thanks, dear Hunt. T says, "Yep. The idea of not wanting to be in a contest are the ones who most suited to compete is the same one I have of making all political positions as described as jury duty." Yeah, 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 yeah. It. I wish politics was back to that because um, in the olden days of the beginnings of a democratic society, people were people volunteered. I'm sorry, I'm using the wrong terminology. People were elected. The population would elect a person where the person didn't put themselves forward. Other people were like, "Hey, old man Joe, you know, lady Andrea should be the one to do the, you know what I mean?" And that person was like, "Wait, what?" That used to be the old ways, but man, not anymore. When I Heathen says, "Oh man, I'd love to meet the person who could do that off the top of their head." Yeah, yeah. Drew's like, "No black pudding left in the world. I was used it up. It was used up. I'm eating in the eating contest. We have eating contests here as well. Okay, so yes, thank you very much. That's the name of it. Yes, I saw one in use. The Archimedes screw, for those who don't know, to get water from a lower elevation to a higher plane. So people live on a hill. Maybe they want to be safe from storms. Their fresh water comes from below, or maybe there's an aquifer or something, or a lake or river or whatever, and they need to get it to get up to the top. The Archimedes screw is a half pipe, and the half pipe has a screw on it, and that screw is spun in a manner in which uh, the liquid is pulled upwards and dumped into a cistern or a place up above. And Thomas Anderson would know that. I didn't. I figured you would know that, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to point you out there. A day of contest could have a race through a maze of obstacles. Would be a fun one. Yep, the maze of obstacles: run, jump, swim, swing, climb, balance, and fighting enemies, and with a time schedule, they can't just stop and start battling everything. And you could even have like what limitations on magic, right? Like if you use magic to do a thing, it could cause other things to happen. Um, uh, it we did a magic wizard contest in one of our games. One of my friends came up with one, and this was many years ago, and it worked out pretty good. So the idea was two or more wizards are on the edge of a like a boxing ring, and in the middle was pure magic, pure elemental magic, whatever. It's just pure magic, and each side had to cast a spell. We rolled to see who would go first, and each side had to cast a spell to best counter the spell that's already been cast, if that makes sense. So someone would cast a spell in the middle, and they would do I don't know, summon monster, and they would summon a snake. And then the next person would cast a spell, and they would do charm monster, and they would charm the monster. And then the next person was like, "Oh, well, I'm going to polymorph the monster." And then someone's like, "I'm going to disintegrate it or catch it on fire." And then someone had to cast a spell to put the fire out. And it was like a round robin to see who could use a spell. And the idea was it wasn't rolling to do a thing. You had to pick a spell on your list that was the most applicable, to think outside the box, to twist the thing that happened in the thing after the other person did a thing. Um, it worked out all right. I mean, it was more creative and us having fun than it was like a true like mechanical contest. But it did have some ability there. Yeah, a day of contest could have a race through a maze of obstacles would be fun one, and I definitely agree with that. There, Heathen. Yep, yep, yep. Yeah, TA's like, okay, you got picked as president of the U.S. Now what? Yeah, what? No, wait, I have a heart murmur. Sorry, bum leg, can't be president. Yeah, it would buy a lot of people. I wouldn't want to be president. Yeah, yeah. I know it sounds fun, but yeah. It depends on the result of it. DC 17 con check. Here comes the centaur races. All right, so guys, I'm going to start the game. Okay, so we got D&D Jeopardy. I'm going to pick classes for 100. Do 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 do. This class has the highest hit die. What do you think? I'm gonna let somebody throw some kind of answer in there. I have to wonder now. Licorice flavored pudding. You guys are weird. Also, why are there only black puddings? What about red ones? Yes. What is the barbarian? Do 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 do. And response spacebar. What is a barbarian? Woohoo! 100 points. There we go. All right. All right. So let's. Oh, here we go. Let's go back. We got classes for 100. All right. Somebody pick a category. Boom. Huzzah. Yep. Yeah, you guys. Okay, you guys jammed in there. Funny. Boom. The barb. Hells yes. Yep. Wherever ignorance is about, people are rolling D12 for hit points. Yeah, yeah. Barbarians? I think maybe we should take turns or give time for everyone to answer. Well, that's the problem because there is a delay. So um that's why I'm asking you guys, just throw a bunch of categories in there and then or like monsters for 200 or magic for 500 or something like that. And then I'll just go through them while we talk. While I what is it? What's the term when you are supposed to talk to distract people to you ever see in the news when something goes wrong and the newscasters are like I've got to talk about the I love D12s too. And there's a number of D12 systems out there. Uh but D12 game systems. D12 is like very rollable, easily divisible. Yep. Yeah, doing the fast talking, filling the airtime. Yeah, there's an actual term for it too. Um, it's not jazzing. It's I can't remember. Ultimate Berserkers, the Oppen Barbarian. Wow, what is that? Exploding is like nuclear atomic power. Barbarian, Barbarians, not to be confused with Kinbarians. You guys are Barbenheimer and me, aren't you? Which I have not seen either movie. Have not seen either one. Hmm. I guess it's just basically rifting. Okay, let's pick base races for 100. This race can be described as part demon and part human. Come on, you guys know this one. Come on, come on. Yeah, you got to put it in. Let's see. It begins with the letter Conan after going berserk his first time. I have become death. Or Barbara before you become tiefling. Yeah, there it is. What is a tiefling? And the answer is what are tieflings? Remember, you only get a point. You only get points if you form it as a question. Base races for 200. This race has wood, high, and dark. Sub races. We know this. These are pretty easy. Well, they're 100 and 200 point questions, but yeah, we know that. Come on, it's elves. Spacebar. Let's see. Let's get something really. I didn't form it as a question. Okay. Um. Base races for 300 would be this race receives bonuses of +2 strength and +1 charisma. That one I don't know. I mean, I easy know. Yeah. What are elves? Yeah, it's like no points for me. Then see that's the hard part in Jeopardy because you have to form it as a question because you receive the answer, and that's the hard. Yeah, easy peasy. What are elves? Oops. Mm-mm-mm. Funny. +2 strength and +1 charisma. I wonder what that is off the top of my head. I'm not really a mechanics person. What are drow? Yeah. Yeah. What is outdated? Stat increase went to the backgrounds. It sure did. All right. So I don't know when this was created. I would have to look it up. But the answer is, what are dragonborn? What doesn't have dark vision other than humans? Would be the answer. Yeah. Oh man. All right, here's a deep one. Deep cut. Base race is 400. This race receives the lucky feature. Really? That's not all right, halflings. We know this. We know it. We know it. We know it. What are halflings? Yep, yep, yep. And last but not least, this race is the only one to not receive a +2 in any ability score. That one I'm not sure of. Heathen says didn't. Yeah, yeah. What are dragonborn? Yep. Which for some reason I didn't even think about them. Yeah, didn't even think of dragonborn. Easy schmeezy. Hey Marco. Yeah, halflings. Yep, halfling. Lucky feature is new shit for lame fucks. Yeah, yeah. What are humans? Okay, here we go. What are humans? And the answer is hit the space bar. What are humans? Very good. Awesome, awesome, awesome sauce. All right. Let's go. Let's do some deep dives here. Magic for 300. This second level necromancy allows the user to impart one of two disabilities on a target. So, um, when I heathen says, I would guess humans, but humans get +2 wherever you want them. The old the this might be very old. So that was back in the day when they received a +1 to all their stats. That was the thing that was their yeah. And the variant, no, the human variant gets +2, which hmm, I guess you could I guess you could make the exception to the rule on that. TA says I would worry about getting a luck component since luck comes in both bad and good varieties. Yeah, yeah. What is it? What is a cordyceps brain infection curse? I don't know. I don't know. D&D Jeopardy. We could have a whole. Okay, here we go. Let's do the answer for this. Second level necromancy allows the user to impart one of two disabilities on a target. I think it's blindness and deafness. Blindness and deafness. Woohoo! Or what is? Fuck, I'm forgetting my own self. Damn. All right. Monsters for 400. This worm-like monster is responsible for the death of Giorno. That's a deep cut because I don't know that name. Does anybody out there know that? May you live in interesting times. Yeah, when I hear this is what is paralysis? Best I could think of. I remember I didn't. I was trying to think of disability, and I was like, why did they word it that way? And then I realized it was blindness and deafness. So it took me a little while to think of it. This worm-like monster is responsible. What is Leviathan? Okay. What is Leviathan? And no, what is a Grick? What is a Grick? I thought those were the I thought Gricks were the humanoid vulture people. Wow, Gricks. All right. Hmm. That's all right. I guess. Classes. Classes for 500. This class has the most subclasses available, not including Xanathars. Hmm. Hmm. See, I was thinking purple worm too. What is Tarrasque probably spelled wrong? I'm thinking purple worm, but that's Pathfinder. I don't know. Something killed it killed a worm. Or which worm like creature killed Giorno. And I don't know who or what Giorno is. What is fighter? Magus? See, I was thinking cleric, but no. Those are domain fighter? Okay, okay. We're gonna go with what is a fighter? What is fighter? Or what are mages? Fighter? Okay. So flip a coin, mages and what are fighters? So which one is it? Ah, I got the mage. What is wizard? Also, okay, all right, Hunt. Yeah, what is wizard? The most subclasses. I didn't realize that. Why didn't I realize? I think it because we don't really think of wizards as having subclasses. They're more like specialties. Mongolian deathworm. All right, one more deep cut. Let's go with I guess it's random. Random for 300. The excuse made by Michael for not writing Endeno's backstory. Is this a random thing pulled from like Critical Role or like PAX Unplugged or something? Because I don't know what that refers to. I'm thinking it's a woohoo! Yeah, you got it right. Yeah, I thought it was. I thought it was either going to be fighter or cleric. But clerics are domains. They don't really have subclasses. So I was wrong on that. What is kidney cancer? What? I don't know. The excuse made by Michael for not writing Edeno's backstory. Okay, this it's got to be pulled from something. I'm going to get the answer here. What is amnesia? See, you would have to know. This sounds like a live play that somebody would have to watch, or maybe it's a deep cut inside of an adventure, or like a adventure path or module or something. I don't know. All right. Anyway, we'll go back to that if you guys want it. The day of contest, I think, also pretends to be one in which um, you we could have fake lethal outcomes, knowing that it's just a contest and it's not the real thing. Although, and please don't do this. Don't do this at all. The players could wake up on the day of contest and be thrown into the deep end of some kind of like um, battle or something that requires them to exercise all of their skills. Hey guys, you need to you're in the middle of a battlefield and they just wake up and it's all like the world's been destroyed and there's fireballs flying through the air by the dozens and there's aerial attacks by sorties of I don't know, pterodactyl riding villains, and there's a monster steam powered machines on the battlefield, and the PCs are like running, jumping, hiding, battling, and they need to, I don't know, reinforce people behind enemy lines. It is like this whole battle. I mean, it could be a contest, and then at the end of it, they find out that the gods were just playing with them, kind of thing. Um, it could be on the day of contests the classic Olympian gods moving chess pieces, but real lives are being manipulated. So it's not a contest for the people living through it at all, but it's a contest amongst powerful beings. And the PCs find out that, like, simply moving one piece to another square or toppling over something causes all kinds of great harm in the world and the PCs are, fists in the air. F you, deities. We're not polytheists, or whatever. Um, yeah, deities have to go. Let us kill them all. Exactly. And it could be something like that. Yep. What is a zombie apocalypse somehow localized to Cleveland, Ohio? What is one? The answer is I don't know. Mm-mm-mm. But yeah, I mean, it could be on the day of contest. It could be something like that. Maybe there's a contest where people are competing, and the player characters know maybe it's a favorite NPC or someone on their side, and everyone knows, like the Squid Games, right? That if you compete, you're probably going to die. Like it's like a 2% survival rate, and the player characters are like, okay, we got to save our friend, or maybe they get pulled into the contest and they know that very few people survive it at all. Like a training camp of some sort. Like, okay, it's Spartan games. We've got to work together to run, lift, jump, carry, uh, push, untie, um, use what is the very first Captain America First Avenger idea. Hey, anyone that gets the flag down from the flagpole gets to ride back. And you got all the soldiers trying to climb up the flagpole. None of them can do it. And Steve Rogers looks it up, looks it down, sees there's a pin at the bottom, pulls the pin out, flagpole falls over. He grabs the flag and grabs it and stuff. You know what I mean? So it might be something like that, like using survival using tactics and smart play. Like, oh, we can't get around the pools of oozes and jellies, but our enemy's coming after us, and we need to get from A to B. Hey, how about we trick them into falling into the pits of the ooze and stuff, and then we just run over their dead bodies or disintegrating bodies being consumed or something. I don't know, something like that, right? Hey, there's a siege tower up ahead. If we knock it over, it's just tall enough to go across the crevice of the foul liquid acids flowing through that river or something. So let's attack the siege tower, topple it over, and run across or something like that. TA says, to be honest, the free market is a contest when no when no one is putting their thumbs on the scales. Yeah, the problem with free markets is it sounds like it's a fair race, but really it's a marathon with people with baseball bats and firearms shooting each other in the kneecaps trying to get to the finish line. That's what it really is. Um, might be fun to have this random arena of death as a one shit sort of Tomb of Elementa nonsense for shits and giggles. Yeah, come with a stack of character sheets. Yep, the the funnel, or as it's been referred to in Shadow Dark, the gauntlet. Basically, bring a stack of character sheets and see who wins. Yeah, it could be a one off. It's like um, hey, it would be fun, especially high level characters. Maybe they're going to recruit like NPCs, like retainers or something for their kingdoms. And hey guys, listen, today's game is going to be a contest. Everybody bring 5 character sheets. You get to make up. I'm just make a bunch of first level characters or 0 level characters, and whoever wins becomes the new characters for the new adventure, or they get recruited into the entourage of our more powerful characters that we've been using up until this time. You know, yep. You are the weakest link, Zap. Yeah, hell's yeah. Yeah, everyone's got. Why do I have a collar around my neck? Oh man, or the classic Arnold. Let's see if you guys remember this movie. I'll be back, and the announcer's like, "Only in a rerun, pal." So, what would a religion be that is a believer in gods and openly seeks to destroy them? Hmm. Well, it's yeah, rather to destroy them rather than serving them. I don't know, and I think sometimes people in role playing games seem to think that like characters that don't believe in the gods are think they don't exist. Where it's though they believe they exist, they just don't believe in their ultimate divinity. They don't worship them, which I think is more appropriate for games. Which I think is which most players are kind of like that anyway. Um, but yeah. So a contest. You all show up on the wormscape layer of the abyss and see who takes the longest to be decomposed and digested. That's pretty nasty. I don't know. I mean, I guess you could. You could have something like that. Like, hey, you've got to run across this open field in the arena, and everyone's like, "Well, that's pretty easy." Oh, sorry to tell you, you're going to age 1 year for every step you take to get across. Sorry. Everyone gets to the other end, and they're all like elderly and ancient, and their bones crumbling and stuff. Yeah. Maybe catching on fire, bolts of lightning coming from the sky. TA says the original story for the Running Man was something with lots of various games like how hot can you stand it? But the contest you got selected for was based on your health and body. It was kind of so the Running Man uh, was altered based on your capabilities or something. Yeah. Shai says, "What is the religion of the trolls in within the Ring of Fire?" That one I don't know. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Yeah, I don't know about that. Klingons. Okay, the Klingons have Kalis the Unforgettable, which I kind of like, a religion based around an ancestral hero. Deicide? Is the death of deities deicide? There's a band called Deicide, classic death metal. Well, yeah, that sounds exactly right. That's very Mork Borgish, right? The gods are like, "Oh, you want us going? Fine. There's a way to do it." All right, we're going to take monsters for 500 and get on out of here. This multi-headed dragon queen, really? For 500, this multi-headed dragon queen first appears in the first episode of the D&D cartoon. Now, I get that they think this is a deep cut, right? The problem is the way the answer is questioned. The answer is given for the question, because it says this, whatever. For 500, yeah. What is Tiamat? No, 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 no. That's not the question. That's not it. That's not it. Or that's not what you think it is. Because the answer is yes. I mean that's it. But wait, hold on. I'm confusing myself. You're right. I'm wrong because the cartoon. Because are they asking for the? Yeah, the cartoon was the D&D cartoon, and she's Tiamat in it, and I'm like, well, but that's not even part of the cartoon. You can get this answer. Uh, the very first part of it, this multi-headed dragon queen, itself gives away the answer. The part about the cartoon. Anyway, I know what I'm saying, but I don't know what I mean. All right, 500 magic for 500. Oh shit! What? Drawing on the deepest fears of a group of creatures, you create illusory creatures in their minds, visible only to them. Each creature in a 30-foot radius sphere centered on a point of your choice within range must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, a creature becomes frightened for the duration. The illusion calls on the creature's deepest fears, manifesting its worst nightmares as an implacable threat. At the end of each of the frightened creature's turns, it must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or take 4d10 psychic damage. On a successful save, the spell ends for that creature. Ninth level spell wizard. What is it? What is hallucinatory terrain? That's what I was thinking of. Circle of fear? Mm-mm-mm. So, di- Diedetus instead of polytheus or monotheus? Going back to killing the gods or wishing their death, I guess. Yeah, what is Tiamat is correct, but it gave away what it was. Yeah, I don't know this one either. Circle of Fear. So we've got Circle of Fear, and let's see what it is. Let's go with it. What is the spell weird? Ninth level wizard spell. Weird is the name of the spell. Wow. Wow. That's a good one. That right there, that's a good one. What a circle of cordyceps. Yeah. All right. Um, and I know there's a way to let's go backwards on this one. So we are at here. Let's let me copy and paste this. Here is this is the link to this website that has D&D Jeopardy on it. So Jeopardy Labs. So you can create different teams, number of teams here. You can continue, press F11 for full screen mode. I guess you can print and download these. So yeah. And you can also, let's see, you can hit reset. And then you have, I guess it reset it, but it didn't create different things. Oh, I guess the programming in it. So like here we go, monsters for 300. This monster's challenge rating of 21 increases to 22 while in its lair. And I'm gonna give the answer. What is a lich? I didn't know that one, but anyway, this is an example of it. Cool, cool. Very cool. Sphere of fear. I like that. Anyway, we went off the rails on this one today, as usual. That's what happens. Um, you got to have these kind of things. But yeah, I think for me, I think just any kind of contest or flavoring something as like uh, in order to get the MacGuffin, right? We have very intelligent, strange monsters that will put the PCs on a contest to do a thing. Yeah, Sphere of Fear, home to the Rage Mage. Ah, I'm so mad. I'm going to rip pages out of my book. Oh man, I'm just picturing like a really scrawny, like geeky guy pushing the taped glasses up with his nose, very stereotypical. Like I'm upset, and everyone's like, "Yeah, whatever, dude." And all of a sudden, like he starts wrecking shop. Yeah, the Rage Mage is gonna be a meme. Yep. For proper distribution of the contest for day of, what about developing a magical version of TV networks and television? The magical version of those. Hey, everyone gathering around the crystal ball to watch their favorite episode. Yeah. Oh well. Hey, there is prestidigitation and thaumaturgy. There are cantrip spells where um, people could gather around or a campfire, and above it are the exploits as someone tells the story of different things. So yeah, there could be some entertainment value to it. Day of contest on the day of anger. Taunt your fellow players out of character until somebody hits you in the freaking face. Yeah. Yeah. Your character's mama wears a wig with a chin strap. Oh yeah. Well, my character's mom was a mechanist because I'm a warforged. So now, yeah, oh, bards can do that. Hell yeah! It's the contest of mama jokes in Dungeons and Dragons. Your mama's a minotaur, and the minotaur is like Well, that's actually true, so I don't get it. Your mama's got 8 nipples and they all squirt milk. And the Minotaur's like, yeah, still, that's true. I don't understand. Gather around the telecrystals, warm, glowy glow for the family. Yeah, day of yo mama jokes. Hilarious. Day of yo mama jokes. Oh man. Damn, bards would have fun with that. Fey creatures, definitely the most evil fey creatures would love a day of yo mama jokes. Oh man, that would be hilariously funny. Wow, what would if you fail? Okay, bardic fey contests that your opponent polymorphs and transforms and suffers the put downs the other side gives to you, no matter what the put down is, right? Like if somebody says something I don't know, um, you so ugly. Your mama smacks you each day for punishing her, or something stupid like that. And then all of a sudden, your mom just appears out of nowhere and smacks you in the back of the head. And it's like, hey, what the hell? Yeah, the day of heckling. Yeah, everyone has to be on stage as a comedian and get heckled by everyone in the crowd. Yep, the day of getting roasted. But the crowd is also all on a stage as comedians, so it's a crowd of comedians that are just heckling each other. Yeah, till someone gets slapped. Yeah, yeah. Keep your true name out your mouth. Well, who invited the warlock? Yeah, keep the true name of my demon patron out your mouth. Damn, I didn't know we were gonna take it that serious. All right, guys, we got to get out of here. All right. Um. By the way, for those who don't know, we do have a musician in the crowd. I don't know why I haven't done this. I need to. Here we go. Let's see if I can find something I could put up here. Nope, nope, nope. Mm-mm-mm. But here, and let's share this out. Is it letting me do it? Is it letting me do it? Ah, shit. No, 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 no. No, no, no. Stop it, stop it, stop it. Pop ups. Come on. Oh, it's not letting me. I was trying to go to SoundCloud for you there, dude. No, 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 no. Fuck. Anyway, okay. Happy Monday, part two, the retribution. Shit, yeah. Yeah, oh my God. You so ugly, your eyeballs ran out of their sockets so they didn't have to look at you. A beholder shows up and it's like, can I have those? PC is like, what do you mean my character's blind? Well, you're not really blind. Your eyeballs just left your face. And oh, everybody's got to make a dex save to avert their eyes. Otherwise, they look straight at you because you're that ugly. Well, what do I look like? No one knows because you're just that ugly. Setting it all up as a trivia show to trick a dragon into giving up his true name so it can then be controlled. Or it could be a demon instead of a dragon. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. This is, oh man. Oh, hilarious. Thank you very much there, one-eyed heathen. The Odin of the group. This was fun. I need to quit staying up past 4, but these are amazing. Listen, it only happens because of you guys. So thank you very much for being part of the show. Guys, I don't want to hold you guys too long. Thank you very much for being here. I, 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 I can't express to you how much I love you guys for just being part, just even being here especially if you're here in the States because it's hella early, overseas, just having some fun and showing me some love. So I appreciate that. Of course, day of series, guys, everybody have a great one. Thank you very much for being part of the contest. And we will continue on later on. I'm not going to hold you guys too much. Your time is valuable. Thanks for spending it here. But Since you're spending it here, I hope I can make change for the rest of you. Peace.